Well, things have been happening. Got this side Nerf bar off because this was all broken. And that was a much bigger project than I anticipated. I'm going to put the new one on. But it had Allen bolts in it. And I'm not blaming the kickers, Nerf bars, whatever you want to call them. They were Kawasaki OEMs. And they handled the abuse. I mean, they got tore up from the floor up. But when they got bent, since these were Allens, it was really hard to get an Allen straight on there. So I kept stripping them. So ended up cutting them all off, which wasn't a big deal. Just took a lot longer than I wanted because I tried everything in my power to save them because I didn't want to have to buy another $300, $400 set of Nerf bars, but it happened. Then came over to this side, figured, well, since I had to cut that one off, I might as well take this one off because I'm going to have to replace them anyways. And everything went smoothly, except for that one. And that was a pain. So then I had to drill the head off of it to get it off because it did not work. I mean, I tried Allen's, Torx, half-inch impact, which not the best move, but it got done. And then cut off this side of the cage. Probably going to go to Menards and just get a little cap, tap it in there. Probably going to pull the roof off. Either need to go make a new roof or see if I can fix this one. Need to take the wrap off anyways, but I mean, it's cracked there, which, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. Probably just going to leave these for now in case we ever do put number plates back on it. I mean, they don't hurt anything. They just don't look great. But, oh, I need to mount a fire extinguisher back on this. That's one of the things I need to do. So yeah, I'm going to come over to this side, cut this just like that over there. Then we should be ready to rock. Keep moving on it, pull the roof off. Gonna try to fix the clutching today, and just continue wrapping this thing up. So yeah, that's the plan. So I figured out why my four-wheel drive wasn't working properly. I didn't have this pushed all the way down properly, so the pin wasn't all the way at the top, so it was actually in four-wheel drive when the switch was in two-wheel drive. So I just shoved it down, then had to make sure that the actuator, the line was on the R, which means it's in two-wheel drive. So now that the teeth are properly aligned, I can just put this on and then it'll finally work right. Dumb little mistake, but this is how I fixed it. Well, the white Buffalo is finally complete. Definitely gonna need a new name, but it's done. Even got the stickers on it. So, like I said, we fixed the front differential selector actuator. Somehow I messed it up the first time, which I should know how to do that. I've done it like 10 times. And I got the clutch weights adjusted for the bigger tires, and just a whole bunch of little things fixed and finished on the car. So kind of go through a rundown of fixes, and then for the people that don't know, I'm going to do build breakdown in another video, but this would just be everything, the little finishes that we got going on, or we got taken care of. One, got a fire extinguisher mounted, and even lubricated the pins, because if you've ever dealt with one of those that are froze up, it can be a major pain. Yeah, just the normal, well, not normal, but just some clutch stuff was fixed here. Did break a bolt off, which isn't super common, but if you're like me and you use an impact, then it becomes more common. I got the stickers on. That's, 10 horsepower each sticker. The PSN with the logo icons wouldn't fit underneath, so I moved them around. And I don't have every one sticker on here that I would like on here. I'm definitely missing a Brute Performance sticker, and they are huge. So many other parts on this machine. Need a Razor Edge Design sticker, need some Tiger Light stickers, got a Handy Lift sticker. I mean, I'm counting at least another 100 horsepower, but So yeah, we got it finished up, tires mounted. Did a bunch of more test runs with it, making sure the clutching was all good. But yeah, it's a solid machine now. I even put foam underneath the roof. Who doesn't love hearing your roof bang around? And then replace my plastic zip ties with steel zip ties, because this really needs a couple tabs underneath here to hold this, because it just gets wiggling and then it cracks. And I've stop drilled it once there, but a couple times over here. Probably need to take it off and weld it, but that's for another day. Cut off the door mounts back here, which spray painted in there with perfectly matched powder coat. I mean, it's definitely needs redone at some point, but cut it up kind of flush here, and then just gonna put a rubber stop in there, which worked really well. I went to Menards 3 times trying to find a like a plug, and I found these metal plugs, but this is a 1.25 inch, which the inside diameter of that tube measures 1.25 inch, but these won't fit in there. And the 1 3/8 inch are too big, and it was just super frustrating. So I found these rubber plugs, which, I don't know, they'll do fine. Keeps water out of there. Got the mirror recentered, because I make a really bad mistake when I'm racing. I use the rear view mirror when it's my co-pilot's job to look in the mirror, because if I'm looking in the mirror, I'm not looking forward. So I moved it over to the passenger side so I couldn't use it well. I recentered it. Since I did that, I realized my chase light, or the chase light on this car, is kind of right in the middle. Probably should move it, but it didn't bother me that much, so I just left it. Left the pumper in here. Never know when someone might bring a pumper helmet. Need to run radios on this car sometime, but don't know whether to use. Everyone's been telling me to use PCI, but just need to figure out so we can get all the cars on the same radio, so if we're on a trail ride, we can communicate with each other. But that's something, I don't know, we'll figure it out later. Ooh, that's got a nice crack in it. I should have replaced that when I took the Nerf part, put new Nerf bars on. Might have to stop drill that wherever that's at. Maybe throw some zip ties on there, but in all honesty, not a big deal. When it's shined up, it's even hard to tell. Missing a hubcap. Pretty sure I got one somewhere, but I think I had to order one. Yeah, no, that's not. I thought there was one on the shelf over there, but there's not. See, that pretty much is the end of the White Buffalo, which need to come up with a new name. So far we got Longhorn. I don't know. Like, this machine's really tall, And one reason, I was gonna chop the cage and really shorten it, you know, take that much out of it. But by the time I'm sitting in here with a helmet on, I mean, I probably have 6 inches. This is actually stock factory height back here. This is just raised to match it. So it looks really tall. So it's pretty much stock height. I was gonna chop it down and make it real short and gangster. But I decided to leave it because this is the trail car for the family, the Dickey family, to borrow and take. And well, if I didn't leave it really tall, well, not tall, just leave it at this height. Like, we have some friends that are like 6'4", and well, they'll need the extra height then. And so, but it does look better on the 33s. Everything looks more proportional, at least I believe. But yeah, it's from, other than stickers, I believe it's done. Well, I've never talked about this before. This is the Brute Performance gas cap cover. So if anyone knows how disgusting it gets in here and like how hard it gets to take your gas cap off because there's all sorts of junk in it, well, this is just a cover. Works really well. And like, you think if you hit a bump hard enough, like it would like flop, but it's got a pretty good tension on there. I don't know why, but KRX gas caps, even with this cover, which is nice and clean, are just a pain to get off, but not the end of the world. So that's the overview. I don't think anything extra is gonna happen with it. Probably gonna live in this condition for a long time. Graphic laying skills. I hope no one looks super close. I mean, in the video, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, but I am not good with a razor blade. I get a heat gun up, pretty warmed up. She does all right. I mean, we got some bubbles, but I mean, overall, not bad. The logo's not even, I mean, I don't know if the logo is technically centered, but I did my best. Yeah, so I think that's kind of the end of the White Buffalo. The new name will come out. We'll probably put it up on top. Oh, I did even put a PSN sticker up there, and yeah, that wasn't, it's a lot easier when they're flat like that, whereas if this one isn't even bad either. I mean, it's a pretty easy profile. Yeah, my super sweet. Oh, yeah, bubble. And one of the things you can do with graphics too is on a good hot summer day, just leave it out in the sun and let everything bake out. It really helps out. Oh, these are some Super ATV kickers. They were the cheapest replacement, and it's not like this thing's really gonna need them. I mean, it probably will, but I mean, they're not bad. And that's the end of the White Buffalo rebuild. Definitely gonna need a new name on this thing. Hopefully we can, I don't like this view very much, but I gotta do it. I gotta show my face more. Make sure the beard's good. Well, that's that. That's part 6 of the White Buffalo rebuild. Definitely gonna need a new name. So if you got one, drop it in the comments. Would love to hear what you think the new name should be. So yeah, watch out for the next one. We got another build coming up.